Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm going to start that in. Good afternoon, everybody. Hold on. All right. There we go. All right. Everything's all set. Welcome in, Raina. Nice to meet you. Good afternoon. Hope everything is well with you. Thank you for joining my live. We are going to be talking about I'm Still Standing today. So welcome in, everybody who's coming in. I don't mind just sharing out the live for me. I would truly appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is well. Welcome in, Songbird. Made it just in time. Just in time. Thank you for coming in. Thank y'all all for coming in. Just give me one moment, just sharing out the live. Give me 1 second. Thank you so much, Songbird, for that. Hope everybody again is having a magnificent day today. I truly do hope so. Appreciate everyone that's in here. Just give me 1 second, y'all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. That's all the inviting I'm doing. They come in, they come in. All right. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing on this Wednesday? Thanks everybody for coming in. All right. So today's topic is called I'm Still Standing. I am still standing. And today's topic is basically about still standing through all the things we have been through in life, all the things that we have dealt with, all the things we have experienced, all of the heartbreak, all of the pain, all of the misusage, all of the disrespectful things. Thank you, Songbird. All the things that we've been through life that honestly should have taken us out, or that honestly did actually break us and made us become another individual that we were truly destined to be. It kind of blocked us from being able to see the purpose that God truly had over our lives. So this is why today's topic is I'm Still Standing. So I'm going to go ahead and start so we can get into it and let anybody that comes in, just welcome them in as they come in. Welcome in, Melody. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you for the repost. Thank you so much. All right. So welcome in Becoming Her, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the heart me. So welcome everybody back to the No Fear, No Doubt Positive Life Coaching Podcast. I am your host, Coach No Fear. And today we're talking about something that every single one of us can relate to, because every single one of us have been through something, and some of us still really don't even know how and why we're still standing or how we even made it this far. But today's message is simply, I'm still standing. All right. I'm still standing after my childhood. I'm still standing after my teenage years. I'm still standing after rejection. I'm still standing after heartbreak. I am still standing after grief. I am still standing after disappointment. I am still standing after people walked away. I am still standing after life tried to convince me that I wasn't enough. I am still standing after I doubted myself. If you're listening today, I want you to say it with me. I am still standing through it all. Just put it in the chat, y'all. I am still I am still standing through everything that I've been through. Again, through the heartache, through the grief, through the teenage years, through the people walking in and out of your life, the doubting, the part of doubting yourself because of the things that occurred to you or happened to you which you might not understood. Yes, I am still standing. I appreciate y'all. All right. Not because life has been easy, not because everything worked out perfectly, but because God's grace has carried you through every storm through every moment, through every heartbroken time. Again, a lot of people don't realize this, but honestly, life was never meant to break you. Life was never meant to break you. Welcome in, Sweet Pudding. Thank you for coming in. Many of us have asked God the same question. Why me? Why did I have this experience? Why couldn't I have had a better childhood? Why did I lose someone I loved? Did that marriage really fail? Why did my family hurt me? Why was I betrayed by people why was I betrayed and hurt by people I trusted? Those are the honest questions. Which I know a lot of people ask that daily, especially some of us that have been mistreated, been abused physically, and I'll even say sexually abused through our childhoods and growing up. And even for the ones that, don't understand why we have these anger issues or the alcoholism or the drug addictions or some of the things like that, we don't understand where those things came from and why we have those over our lives. I've learned through, just doing my research and just understanding psychology and it all together, and also from the spiritual side of it, is that a lot of things that we carry are sometimes generational curses that have been cursed on our bloodlines, that have been passed down and passed down and passed down. And due to the fact that the ones before us never did what they were supposed to do. They never stood their ground. They never faced the problem. They never addressed the issue or the problem. They just allowed it to keep going. And unfortunately, those things are being passed down to their kids and then their kids and then their kids. And a prime example of that, again, I would use will be for sexual assault. Because again, it does, majority of the time, it doesn't just start with that first individual that speaks as a child. Majority of the times it has happened generations and generations back that no one really speaks of or doesn't, or sweeps it under the rug and doesn't really talk about it because it's hurtful, or, they don't want to make it look like it's something that's wrong in their mind. Well, that's your uncle, or that's your stepdaddy. He would never do that, and things like that. It's always swept under the rug. But that is why it's very important that we address those things and those weights and those generational curses that are passed down, such as those things, because if we don't do what we're supposed to do, then it will keep going. And you don't want those things to be brought onto your kids. Like even goes, like I said, sexual assault, alcoholism, drug usage, all those things are majority of the time generational curses that are really passed down back after each generation. But again, while we may never understand every reason behind our pain, we can understand this. God never wasted on our survival. If you're still breathing, your purpose isn't finished. Welcome in, Riri. Thank you for coming in. Your pain was not the end of your story. Turning the pain into the purpose, it became part of your testimony. All right. So again, like I said, I'm going to repeat that for some of the people that just came in. Life was never meant to break you. Like I stated earlier, welcome in, Lisa. Thank you for joining. Life was never meant to break you. It was meant to mold you, to build you, to be able to help the next generation that comes after you go through all the mistakes and things that you go through. And then you basically build a guideline or a pamphlet of some sort for the next person behind you can follow that without making the same mistakes that you made. So many of us ask God the same question. Why me? Why did I have to experience this? Why couldn't I have had a better childhood? Why did I lose someone I loved? And why did my family hurt me? Why was I betrayed and hurt by people that I trusted? Okay. So when I stated that, I was saying that we ask those questions, not really understanding why. And I said from doing research and also just the psychology side of it and spiritually, I've learned that a lot of these things are generational curses. They are generational curses on our bloodline, meaning our family bloodline. And some examples that I brought or talked about when I was speaking about generational curses, I was talking about drug addiction, alcoholism, and also sexual assault. Some of those things are passed down generation after generation due to the fact that our I don't say forefathers, but the generations before us never did what they were supposed to do. They never stood up and faced the situation or addressed it. They just allowed things to keep going and keep going. And then that is what caused everything else to keep falling, keep going, our kids and then their kids and then their kids, because eventually somebody's got to stand up. Somebody has to stand up and say something and address the issue so that curse and that generational bloodline of badness can be broken. I'm a prime example. I am a generational curse breaker. My family truly came from, my grandfather was an alcoholic on my mother's side, so that's in our blood, alcoholism. My mom smoked like it was nothing, I'll just say it, weed all the time. So that's another something that I have to deal with and battle with too, because my mother never really, she addressed it. I'll take that back. She did get saved from it, as she matured in church. But again, the weight that I carry from not just my mom's side of the family, but my dad's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, a lot of the men like to play with women's lives. Like they like to have multiple women in their lives and have, kids out of wedlock and things like that. So what I'm basically saying, all of that weight from my parents and their parents not facing those issues and not correcting them and not, following truly honestly, I'm not gonna say what God told them to do, but by not just addressing the elephant in the room causes me to have to be that generational curse breaker and break all of those things that they were not able to get through or be successful with handling. So that's why sometimes we feel like we're so heavy and these desires and these, what do you want to call them? I don't want to call them traits, but these desires and these things that we fight with so hard, like the perversion, the lust, the addiction and things like that. We fight so hard with them, the promiscuity, because we are battling two demons from two different sides of our family. And if we don't really do our history and realize where we came from and what we are about, we will never know how to break these things. We will never know how to, get over these things and not allow these things to keep being passed on through our kids. And I honestly just recently, found some of this stuff out through my family because I started asking questions about my dad. I never met my grandfather on my dad's side. So I don't know anything about them, but the only way you can find out is by asking questions. And then a lot of us, try to keep everything hidden. And that's what a lot of problem with a lot of families are. We always want to keep secrets. And some of these secrets need to be unveiled so we can know what we can pray for and what we need to fix in our lives and understand why we're going through the things that we are going through. Because a lot of people are going insane trying to feel like, well, why am I going through these emotions, these feelings? Why do I have, always want to talk to all these women? Why do I want to have all these women on my arm? And why do I love alcohol so much? Why do I always want to go to the club all the time? And we just don't know. We're carrying around weight from generations ago. Breaking generational ties and curses are important and key. Yes, unveiling the truth. Thank you, my love. Welcome in. So again, those are honest questions to ask. Why? But while we may never understand every reason behind our pain, we can understand this. God never wasted our survival. I'm sorry. If you're still breathing, your purpose isn't finished. Most of us were raised on those rugs the dust was swept under. Exactly. But it's time to uncover that rug now, Melody. It's no longer to keep sweeping and piling up the dust under that rug, because now the dust, it has overcome the rug. Wow, that's powerful. The dust has now overtaken the rug, and now that's not how life should be. You're not supposed to keep living those traumatic drama incidents over and over again, especially when you know it's something or someone that's doing something wrong. It's meant for you to truly speak those things. That's why they keep coming across your mind, and you keep wondering, well, should I feel guilty about, not saying anything? You shouldn't feel guilty, because you have to realize you are a survivor. You survived for a reason. To be able to share your testimony, which I'm getting to next. But If you're still breathing, your purpose isn't finished. Your pain was not the end of the story. It became part of your testimony. There you go, Melody. Sweep it all up. Sweep it all up. Now, your testimony has power, y'all. Too many people stay silent because they're ashamed of what happened. They think their past disqualifies them. The truth is, your testimony may be the very thing that saves someone else's life or even your own. Again, your testimony may be the very thing that saves someone else's life or even your own. And the way that your testimony saves your own life, which I have discussed with quite a few people, and basically by you sharing what you've been through, it allows you to view it in a different aspect and a different point of view, because you experienced it, but now you're looking on the outside looking in and seeing how everything that you went through and everything that you dealt with, how it has molded you into the person that you are. Yes, some of those things, again, are very detrimental to your life and to your well-being and also to your mental. But don't look at it as you trying to forget it. It's from you also learning from it, talking about it, and realizing why certain things happen and why certain things, turned out the way that they did. I'm not saying that anything was your fault or, you caused any of this to happen, but it's just the fact that now you are able to catch the signs. You're able to use your discernment to help the next generation to know about the people and the things that are around them that they should be aware about. Welcome in, Heather Hill. Welcome in, S. Jackson. Thank y'all for coming in. So your testimony may be, okay, someone is waiting to hear your story. Someone needs to know what healing is possible. Someone needs to know that depression doesn't always win. They need to know that grief doesn't last forever. They also need to know that they can recover after divorce, abuse, rejection, addiction, disappointment, or even failure. Welcome in, Mel. When you tell your story, you give someone else permission to believe that they can survive too. All right? And that's basically what I do each and every time I come on this live, is sharing my testimony. I share events and situations and things that I deal with on a daily basis, from depending on the people that I talk to or things that I deal with personally. And that's what I come on here for, to share, to uplift, to encourage, to hopefully allow you guys to use the things that I teach you or show you in your personal lives to become better. Welcome in, Lady T. It's nice to see you. Welcome in, Mel. But I know my testimony for a fact can help and will help a lot of people, because there's a lot of things that I've dealt with in my life that a lot of people are dealing with now, or some of us wouldn't even made it through. Some of us have ended their lives by dealing with some of the stuff that I've been with and dealt with. But again, I survived for a reason. Welcome in. Thank you. I survived for a reason. And I can give y'all a whole story of how I know God destined me to do this. Because again, I was born with one working kidney. I was not supposed to survive at birth. I was never supposed to make it out of the womb. But God, again, destined me for a reason. I know as a child, my mother and my father dedicated me back to God because they just wanted to they didn't know what to do. They were older parents, and they just wanted to reassure that I got the best care that I can possibly do. And they just dedicated me back to God as a baby. Another thing, my sister gave me my name, which is Javon, Jevon. If anybody want to look it up, Google, it means God's gift. So I had to start putting the pieces together for myself. Like, okay, God, I wasn't supposed to make it at birth. My name is God's gift. In my preteen or teenager years, I was around the bad crew. I'll be honest, sleeping with a lot of women and girls, and I'll say women because I was young, venturing out, dealing with older women. I was at clubs Sunday to Sunday with all of my friends, not even really understanding why we're going out, but just because everybody else was. So we were in shootouts. We've been harassed by police, been searched, had guns pointed at my face. There's so many things in my life that I can truly say that I've been through, and I know for a fact that I shouldn't be here. But again, God saved me and had me survive for a reason, because my testimony and my experiences and my wisdom through life is here to encourage and uplift and get everybody else through the things that they're dealing with. Because if I got through it, so can y'all. So can y'all. Again, like I said, my mother and my father never went to college. They don't have the greatest education, but I have a degree. My sister has a degree, 2 degrees actually, and she's working on her doctorate. So again, we cannot just keep looking at what we've been through as the pain and the hurt and the weight that holds us and carries us down, and be ashamed of what we've been through. Because again, those words and those experiences are going to be the things that get other people through what they've been dealing with. So don't be ashamed of anything that you've been through, because it's all for a reason. And again, you have survived. God allowed you to get through it. He did not take you out from any of those things that you've been through. Welcome in, TT Fitness. So y'all got to remember this, y'all. I'm just saying, because it sometimes discourages me when people say, well, I didn't have a father, I didn't have a mom that cared for me and loved me, or I didn't have the support. But again, I didn't either, but I chose in my mind each and every day that, yeah, my mom don't have a college degree, but I want to be the first in my family to get that college degree. I want to be the first to own a business. Unfortunately, I wasn't. My cousin was owning his pizza shop, but I just knew for a fact that I didn't want to keep living like this. I wanted to make changes no matter what I've been through and what I dealt with. This is not the life that I wanted to live. So again, the enemy wants your silence. God wants your testimony. You heal yourself by just speaking it out loud, or truly realizing what God got you through. All right. Once we realize like how far we really have came and what we really survived, then we know that we are truly blessed and God has a hand in our life and on our life. Okay. You are not what happened to you. You are not what happened to you. Welcome in, Merk. Thank you for coming in, sir. Don't confuse your experiences with your identity. You are not your trauma. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your abuse. You are not your divorce. You are not your addiction, nor your depression. Those are the things that happened. They are not who you are. God defines who you are, not your past. All right. You're so welcome, sir. God defines who you are, not your past. Again, like I spoken about it before, those survival mode labels. We get those labels during survival. When we're going through things in life, when it's hard and it's tough and we really don't know which way to go, sometimes we have to make some decisions just to make it to the next day. And you shouldn't hold those choices against you, because that's what you did in the past. But now, from you making those choices and decisions, has molded you and created a new version of yourself. Now you know what decisions to make when you face those same situations again. So we can't keep allowing what we did in our past to try to hold us in a certain position or predict our future. All right. So I'm going to give y'all some ways to keep standing, to keep fighting, to keep going, to not give up. All right. The first thing is stop carrying the shame. Shame keeps people trapped. Healing begins the moment you stop hiding. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I promise you, you're not the only one that's probably been through the situation that you've been through. But you're the brave one that's speaking out about it, to allow people to know that, yes, I went through it. Yes, it may have broken me, crumbled me, but I'm still standing. I choose each and every day to get up, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much it makes me lose myself sometimes, but I'm still going out there and giving my all. But I want to reassure that people can know that just because you go through hell doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. All right. God already knows your story. Stop trying to hide what God already wants to heal. All right. Yes, get back up and start again. That is so true, Izzy. And thank you for coming in. Psalms 34:18 says, "The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth as be of the contrite spirit." Basically saying is God is willing to add ability and to reassure and heal and revive the heart. Excuse me, the hurt. The hurt. Can't read my writing. Contrite spirit is basically a repentant or crushed attitude rather than pride or stubbornness. So basically saying is that God is here to help and heal your broken heart. He's willing to, again, heal, revive once you are willing to change your pride and your stubbornness. That is when he is willing to help you heal and get you through what you're going through, okay? Welcome in, Miss OD. Thank you for coming up. All right. Second thing, heal instead of pretending. Heal instead of pretending. Thank you, Merck. Don't fake being okay. I'm going to ask this. How many of us do that a lot? How many put on masks to show or to pretend that we're okay? How many of us do this? Put a yes or no in the chat. How many of us do this? I used to do it, but I no longer do it. I have no more filters. I speak my mind and I let it be. I let it be. You do all the time. Songbird, wait a minute. Why? And now I'm going to ask for everyone that's saying yes. Yes. I'm going to ask this question since I see all these yeses. Why? Why are you guys pretending to be happy or pretending to be in a better place than what you are? Authenticity and transparency overcomes performance. That is so true, Lisa. That's it. Speaking into it. I want to know why. Why are you pretending? Why are you afraid to be who you are? Why are you being afraid of who God made you to be? Everyone that said yes, I need that answer. Pride. But who do you have pride for, Izzy? Who do you need to look good for besides God? I'm healing, but I'm learning to be not so aggressive. I understand that, Songbird. I understand that 100%. Yes, because they say fake it till you make. No, and see, Lady Tia, that's something that I'm gonna speak about too. They say. Who is they? Number one, and number two. Just because somebody says it doesn't mean it's true. And that's something that I'm learning too. And that's with the Bible, because me growing up in church my whole life with all the little sayings, you take one step, God takes two. Some of these things are not even in the Bible. So we can't keep using words or usage of words and they don't even truly mean anything. Because why are you going to fake it till you make it? Why not be honest and real? And then the more honest and real you are, people can see how authentic you are and they know how to, approach you. It's easier when facing the sound of chaos. That's how I used to see it. Maybe I missed the question. I'm just being serious. I know Songbird for people, but I realize that I'm hurting me more than not being real. That's it, Mel. Had to learn not to hide my feelings but see, that's the thing, TT Fitness. Why are you trying to keep peace? You're just, again, burying the issue. You're putting more and more dirt on top of it. Because you're not actually keeping the peace. It's just causing you to keep holding all that energy in. And then when that person says something or disrespects you or you can't hold it in no more, then you're going to explode. And then you're going to say some very hurtful things that you may have meant, but not the way that you presented it. So that's the part. Yes, I know it's hard, but honesty, transparency, and being real is the best way to do it, because then you don't have to always be fake. If you don't feel like laughing and smiling today, you don't have to. And that's just the way I am. Yes, and Mel, you got it. When you explode, it's crazy. You have to let it out, because the more and more you hold it in, it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. And then as soon as they bring that needle and pop you, then you're going to say a lot of things that you truly may not meant, or may have meant them, but not the way that you delivered them. So you have to be mindful of that, y'all. Y'all can't keep holding on to these feelings and these emotions of what's hurting you or what's bothering you or what's irritating you, because it's no need to hold on to it no more. I've always snapped, came off intimidating, don't want the reputation anymore. And that's perfectly fine, Songbird, because look, you are aware. You're aware that that's who you used to be. But now you are making choices and decisions to reassure that that's no longer the person that you are. Exactly. That explosion is jail time for you. Waste of wellness. I hear you. And that's something that I had to learn too, y'all, because the reason why I worked on my anger, because I ain't gonna lie, I had a very bad anger. I still have a temperament to a certain extent, but I know how to now calm myself down, walk away from the situation and just let it die. But if we don't know how to control our emotions, we can't better ourselves, because every little thing someone says or someone does will irritate us and allow us to blow up and express ourselves the way that we truly don't want to. I'm very open with everyone in alignment with myself. So I can't speak my mind always because I don't look good in orange. But see, that's the thing. Just because you speak your mind, that doesn't mean you have to put your hands on people, because you can speak all you want. It's okay. And that's the fact. We get so worried about how people are going to receive and perceive what we say. And that's not our fault. That's not our problem. That's something that they have to deal with. That's something that they have to deal with, because there's nothing wrong with you expressing yourself. They feel like there's always a time and a place, but that's only in the world, because they want to put limitations on everything. And you need to do this, and you need to be set up this way, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And no, you do it how you want to. This is your life. My mouth is, I know that, Lady Tia, but again, if you want to become better, you will find a better way to present those words. They won't be so harsh. They won't come out so sharp and like a two-edged sword and cutting and hurting anybody, you know? So, well, I know what it is, Lady Tia. It's because you need to calm down before you speak. You usually speak at a reaction. If someone hurts you or disrespected you, you're fast to respond, instead of sitting there and calming down and allowing yourself to think about what was said. I'll start coming to your class. Well, this is nothing new, Lady Tia. We've had this discussion many a times. We all know those words are very deadly. But again, it's the choices that we make daily. Like, we can go off on people all day if we want to, but we want to create peace and happiness within. So we will adjust and change the way that we approach certain situations and people as a whole, if that's what we truly want. And after a lot of practice and self-reflect, it has become natural. Thank you, Melody. That is what I'm talking about. The more you do it, it becomes a lifestyle. It's something that it just happens. Because I promise you, my mouth did not used to be this nice. It did not used to be this clean. But I've learned to adjust the way that I talk and the way that I carry myself, because I want to be not saying that I care if people receive me or not, but I want the people that really, need me or need to hear from me so they can receive from me. You can correct them without even raising your voice, cursing them out, or putting your hands on them. That's right, Lisa. Only human. I got you, Izzy. Yeah, I need to keep hearing it. Yes, again, like I said, I understand y'all. And honestly, my mouth is still reckless. I'll be honest with y'all. My mouth is still reckless, and I have to catch myself. And look, my sister is in here, and she'll tell you too. And it's not the fact that I don't respect my elders. It's just the fact that they have to realize that I'm an adult now too. I'm no longer a 10 or 12 or even 8-year-old anymore. I'm an adult just like you. But you need to respect me just the same way that you want me to respect you. So anyway. Step 3. Step 2. We're still on step 2. We talked about heal instead of pretending. Don't fake being okay. Healing isn't weakness. Healing is courage. Cry, pray, journal. Yes, I'm learning too, Songbird. I'm learning. Sometimes you just got to be, not quiet, but just limit the words. Seek wise counsel. Talk with someone you trust. Healing isn't forgetting. Healing is learning to live without allowing the pain to control your future. All right. Healing is learning to live without allowing the pain to control your future, meaning giving you the courage and the confidence to walk and be around certain people, to be confident and courageous to speak around other people and not, feel less of who you are. And it's okay when we pop off, as long as we are working on it and show ourselves grace. That is true, Lisa. That is true. Because we are not perfect. We are not perfect. We will still sometimes slip and have our little, falls. But as long as we forgive ourselves, because God does continue to forgive us. All right. Tip number 3, change your mindset. Stop saying, I'll never recover. Instead, say, I survived for a reason. Instead of saying my life is over, say my next chapter is just beginning. Yes, that's right, Race to Wellness. As soon as you start working on it, it's not even it's God. Because God will say, you're working on it, you're going to change. Well, let me see. I'm going to send these people to push your buttons and to get you right where you say you can get through it. But let's see. He really tries us. And it's not always the devil. Because again, it's from sometimes us, making our own choices and decisions to get us in some of these sticky or awkward positions. All right. So Speak life over yourself. Your words shape your outcome. Your words shape your outcome. Speak life over yourself. Yes, he does. Number 4, share your story. You don't have to tell everyone. Again, you don't have to tell everyone. It's up to you. All right. But don't die with your testimony trapped inside you. Do not die with your testimony trapped inside you. Somebody needs your honesty. Somebody needs your faith. They need your hope. The scars you're embarrassed by may become someone else's roadmap to healing. Yes, exactly, man. Your testimony may help somebody else. And that's exactly why I share my story each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every experience that I go through, my childhood, my marriage, my relationship issues, my relationship with God, like I share all of that because I know that I'm not going through these things not for a reason. I was, again, survived from a baby to now for a reason. I have purpose over my life and it's bigger than what I would ever think it is. But I want people to know that no matter what your past may have been or whatever you're going through at this current moment, you can overcome it. You can always arise over it. Yes, sharing is caring, Izzy. Yes, sharing is caring. But keep walking with God. That's the 5th and the last tip. There will be days when you're tired, days when you cry, when you don't understand, but keep walking anyway. Faith isn't pretending everything is okay. Faith is trusting God when nothing makes sense. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear thou not, for I am thee." Basically, stop fearing. Trust God. Know that I am God. I am your Father. So I will protect you, guide you, lead you, and show you if you obey me, if you trust in me, if you stop trying to figure out on your own and allow me to do it. I will protect you. I will guide you. I will lead you. Welcome in, Transparency. Nice to see you. So I do have some reflection questions for you guys. You can definitely answer the questions in the chat if you like, or you can just write them down to use later on, okay? So the first question is, what have I survived that I never gave myself credit for? What have I survived that I never gave myself credit for? And as I shared earlier, I told y'all all the things that I survived, even from birth, as a teenager, you know, as even a young man out there dealing with older women that I shouldn't have been dealing with. And then I could have caught something and whatever, you know, a lot of things that I could have been in a lot of worse positions, a lot of worse places. What pain? Second question. What pain am I still carrying? What pain am I still carrying? Thank you, Wasted Wellness. What pain am I still carrying? Sometimes I'll be honest, I'll answer this question. Doubt. What you doubting, Mel? Huh? What are you doubting? What are you doubting? Are you doubting yourself? Is that what you're doubting, Mel? I don't really think I say, I'll take that back. The pain that I still carry sometimes is realizing that my parents did the best that they could with me. You know, sometimes we wish that our parents did, you know, so much better and they pushed us more and they did this and they did that. But I have came to realizations that my parents did the best that they could do for me. And it's not like my life has turned horrible. It's just the fact that I got to keep pushing and keep going because nobody else did it. So I'm like the first to ever do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And Mel, you read your Bible every day, or you read your devotional every day. I know I was spoiled rotten. I know that. But just because I was spoiled rotten doesn't mean that I can't learn how to get things out on my own. That's the thing too. Like I've heard that my whole life too. You're spoiled. You get everything you want. Your parents are rich. Your parents are wealthy. No, my parents just figured out how to save money and provide for us. They weren't rich. They weren't wealthy. My mom knew how to budget very well. But now it's time for me to take what I've learned from them and go be the greatest version of myself I can be. It's our parents' first time living too. We forget that. Yes, we do. I will go and pin that because that is a good point. A lot of our parents, we were their first kids or their first time experiencing life and going through what they had to go through. Well, that's good to hear, Mel, that you remind yourself that you are still have a purpose and you still have reasons behind it. And God, again, created you for a reason. So stop doubting yourself and just walk with his confidence. We learn everything. Yes, we do. But again, the third question, am I hiding because of shame? Am I hiding because of shame? Am I hiding because of shame? No. I can answer that and I would say no. Next question. Who could benefit from hearing my story? Who can benefit from hearing my story? Everyone. Everyone. Some aspect of my life I feel like that someone can hear to be motivated, to encourage a lot of people. And the question, Mel, are you sharing it with a lot of people? And what do you mean you don't know, Lady Tia? You've seen a lot of people come in your room those nights that we used to do those panels. I think that you have a story too. Everyone has their own story. Just because you may not think it's important, I promise you somebody else does. For me, it's being singled out based on appearance because I feel like I'm being sexualized again. Okay. It's being singled out based on appearance. Okay, Lisa. There's something that I guess we're going to have to work on this because I don't think it's something that I can just answer really in one statement with that. But I think you have to, again, like I said, replace that negative thoughts and those negative feelings of what you felt previously to what you're feeling now, and realizing that today is not what was happened then. Like you have matured, you have grown, and now it's up to you to face those fears. Instead of running from those situations, Lisa, I think you should start facing them. Start, even if they do sexualize you, you still go in with the positive attitude, the positive mindset, be nice, smile, introduce yourself, and carry on. Because again, we cannot predict how people react to us or what they say to us or whatever they do to us. But we can control how we react to the situation. Okay? Now, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Yep, because that is not you. Exactly. Last question. What would my life look like if I truly believed God could use everything I've been through? What would my life look like if I truly believed God could use everything I've been through? Wow. What would my life look like? I don't know. That's a good question. If I truly believe God could use everything I've been through. Well, I mean, to be honest, this is kind of what it is. My life is what God what God could use everything I've been through, because that's what No Fear, No Doubt is. That's basically what No Fear, No Doubt is. It's everything that I've been through, but now me trusting and believing God to allow me to express it and share it to y'all to be free, to free yourselves from everything that y'all dealing with. So that had to click with me. I had to think about that for a minute. At peace. And that's what it's all supposed to be about, Mel. Peace, happiness, and pursuing what God has for you to do. All right. So some words of encouragement. You survive nights you thought would destroy you. You survive heartbreak. You survive rejection, grief, loneliness, disappointment. You survive battles nobody knew you were fighting, and you're still here. I'd be talking about a lot more than I do now, that's for sure. You survived battles nobody knew you were fighting, and you're still here. That's not luck. That's God's grace. Is it me or is it hard to breathe? Never let your scars make you ashamed. Let me remind you that you fought, you survived, and you're still standing. Again, let me remind you that you fought, you survived, you're still standing. I have one more thing to add, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault for nothing that you went into or dealt with or had to go through or had to experience. Again, everything happens for a particular reason, even though it may have crushed you, broke you, damaged you to the core. But I'm not going to say it happened to you because God thinks you or knows that you're strong enough to handle it. But that's the truth. It's kind of hard to say, especially in certain situations. But again, God doesn't put more on us than we can bear. So again, don't look at it as a curse or a burden or something to be ashamed of. Look at it as God granting you the ability to survive what you've gone through and be able to help somebody else. Yes. All right. And I do have a closing prayer that I want to say before we dismiss. Heavenly Father, thank you for carrying us through every season of life. Thank you for protecting us when we didn't even realize you were protecting us. Heal every broken heart, restore every wounded spirit, remove every ounce of shame. Give us courage to share our testimony and help others find hope through what we survived. God, strengthen us to keep moving forward with confidence, faith, and purpose, and remind us every day that because of you, we are still standing. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Now, remember this, y'all. Your story isn't over. Your pain has purpose. Your scars tell a story of survival. Don't hide what God has brought you through. Stand tall, keep believing, keep healing, and always keep trusting him. Because no matter what life has thrown at you, you're still standing. This is Coach No Fear, and remember, I take you from where you are to where you want to be with God. And until next time, stay encouraged, stay faithful, and never let fear or doubt stop you from becoming who God created you to be. All right? Welcome in, Dade County. Don't worry, sir. I can send you the live. I will definitely send it to you. Today, we just talked about still standing through everything that we've dealt with in life, from our childhood, our teenage years, to an adulthood, our disappointments, from us doubting ourselves and all that. See you later, Izzy. Have a good day. But just know that we're here for a reason. We survived for a reason. God allowed us the grace and the mindset to push us through everything that we've been through to still be here for a reason. And we cannot be ashamed of our testimonies. We cannot allow those things to be so detrimental that we are not allowed to get out there and share the things that God has done through us, because a lot of things that we are healed from and then things that we are survived, only God would have been able to get us through it. Okay? So don't be afraid. Don't be shy. And, so a lot of people, some people will not accept or receive the testimony, but that's okay because you did your part. It's not meant for you to force them to understand or get the point, but it's meant for you to share, and eventually they'll think about it at a later date and time, and then it will click. See you later, Melody. Have a great day. But other than that, does anybody else have any questions, concerns, remarks, suggestions about today's topic, or any questions at all about anything about my coaching? Which also, for anybody that is new here, you can go to No Fear, No Doubt, which is NFND, PositiveLifeCoaching.com. If you're interested in any type of positive life coaching or want to know a little bit more about my coaching program, the link is also available in my bio. Love you too, Wasted Wellness. You're welcome. I'm going to be doing a lot more things now, y'all. I'm just trying to stay so focused and aligned with God and just do what I'm supposed to do, because I'm just, like I said the other day, I'm at the point where God is my only solution for everything. Nope. Leveled up again after Successful Live. Well, that's good to hear, Songbird. I'm glad that this has gotten you where you need to go. Y'all get y'all a one-on-one coaching. He is truly amazing, has an amazing gift and a voice to speak. Thank you, my love, Upshaw. And yes, I do love the one-on-one sessions because I'm actually able to get that one-on-one coaching and actually ask you questions that will go into depth and to see how you react to them and how your brain starts to work with the question. I don't know. It's just a gift that God gave me, and I'm thankful for it because, again, people just open up to me just from a simple conversation or a simple sentence. So I'm glad that I'm welcoming. I make people feel warm and welcome and feel at ease to speak because it's not easy sometimes speaking about the heartache and the hardest problem and the hardest times in your life to somebody. It's not easy opening up. You're welcome, but it's available session. Everyone needs it to experience it. That is true. A valuable session. Well, thank you, my love. Thank you. Truly appreciate that. Thank you, for real. Thank you so much for coming here for posting that. Also, too, just stop by my page. Again, I try to post stuff every day. Lately, it's just been Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays because I've got a lot of stuff going on in my personal life that I'm trying to get aligned and get together to pull together. Because again, I just got burnt out of going around the vicious circle and trying to figure out life. So I said, if I want to make the changes, I gotta really stand up and get out there and do it. I can't just expect and want success and happiness just to fall in my lap. I gotta really put in the work. I gotta grind. I gotta get to have some sleepless nights. I have to put in some effort. I can't make any more excuses. I got to do what I got to do. And that's where my lives come from. That's where my topics come from my everyday life and my experiences and what I'm dealing with spiritually, emotionally. And it's sometimes hard. It is because I'll get so stuck up and caught up on the reality and what's really in my face when I also know what God has already promised me and what God has already spoken over my life and God has already shown me. But now it's up to me to reassure that I get to that place. Welcome in, transparency, and thank you for the heart me. So yeah, it's hard. It's trying. It's choosing, the good over the bad each and every day. But, once you start to see the growth and the process within yourself, the lifestyle that you switched over to from instead of who you used to be, it's almost like adrenaline rush. You get so excited and motivated about the change that you just want to keep going and going and going. See you later, Lisa. Have a good day. So that's all I had to share, y'all. But thank y'all again so much. Thank y'all for the likes, the shares, the taps, the reposts, the gifts. I appreciate y'all so much. Again, it is Free Your Mind Friday this Friday. I'll keep y'all updated. I may change the time for Friday. I am off of work, and I think me and my wife are going to go to the shooting range on Friday. So I will keep y'all posted on the time for that. Other than that, everybody have a super fantastic day, like Songbird said. And I will see you all on Friday. Again, this is the middle of the week, y'all. We're almost there. So just thank God for that. Keep going, keep fighting, keep believing, and always keep standing, y'all. Keep standing through it all. I appreciate y'all, and y'all all have a blessed day. Talk to y'all later.